What's up, everybody? We are back here on the Hunter Call the Wild, and today we are returning to the fallow deer grind because there have been some new rares added to the fallow deer, and that right there is one of them, as you can see. That doe right there is, I believe, the erythristic one. So yeah, that's pretty freaking cool that we already have one. Okay, everybody, so it's actually been a couple of days since we originally spotted that doe, that rare doe in this zone right here. And I've actually already finished recording this video. I was getting ready to edit it, and I decided to go shoot a little bit of fallow before actually getting to the editing. And I decided to pick up the track, and I was wrong. This is not the erythristic. This is the leucistic doe. It is just so insane how different they look in game in comparison to the image that EW advertised these new rares with. Like, the difference is pretty crazy. They look incredibly bright and, like, I guess washed out and similar in the promotional image that they posted on their social media. And then when you actually see them in game, they look a whole lot different, which makes me really curious what the erythristic one is going to look like in game. If that's the leucistic, and I thought that it was erythristic, I bet the erythristic is super red. I cannot wait to see one of those. I haven't been looking through the trophy shots that people have posted, so hoping that I can see it in game before seeing it somewhere else. But with that being said, let's jump back to the actual main video. Just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I actually figured out what the fur was, and because I'm sure some of you were going to point it out anyway. And you will definitely hear me calling it erythristic throughout this video, just to give you guys the heads up. Now let's get back to the actual vid. If you guys did not know, they don't do pop resets anymore when adding new stuff to a species. They used to do it every single time that they would add like new furs or new antlers, but they apparently have figured out a way to where they don't need to do that anymore because they haven't done it in like a year plus. And so every time we get something new, it just reshuffles the existing ones on your map with those like new possibilities as an option for them. So every single animal had its fur like cycled after the update, and we got a couple of them to be rares. This little rare doe right here, as well as one other rare doe that I found while resetting up my tents for this grind. So before we actually start hunting them, let's take a look at that beautiful doe that I shot earlier. Is that what I think it is? I'm resetting up for my fallow deer because you guys wanted me to grind for the new furs, and I think that is literally an acromelanistic doe. There she is. Oh my gosh, she is beautiful, bro. I mean, because it is just a doe, I'm just going to shoot it with the 300 because it really doesn't matter if I get full score. It's just a female anyway. Also, I don't know what was up with the screenshot they shared to show off all of these new rares, but the one that they showed really didn't do these things justice. And it made it so you really couldn't see how pretty some of these furs really are. Because this right here looks a whole lot different than what was in that screenshot. And this looks a lot better in my opinion. This is going to look really, really good in the lodge. I mean, I don't really have a place to put it, but we'll at least put it up for a second so you guys can see. I gotta say, the Acromel is probably my favorite of the 3 new fur types for fallow deer. Second favorite would probably be the erythristic, and then third would be the leucistic. But obviously, I need to see those 2 in game before I can make a full decision on which one is my favorite, and that's the goal of this grind. Returning to the fallow grind is literally because we want to get these new rares. And hopefully, just hopefully, this goes better than red deer or mule deer did, because I still can't get those new fur types. Now that you guys have seen that awesome little encounter with that doe and have seen this cool little doe in front of us, let's start shooting the bucks and see if we can get some good respawns with the brand new rare fur types. That is going to be the goal of this grind right here. We're not even trying to get a great one, but hey, if we get a great one along the way, I'll take that as well. As you guys know, we have tried our hardest to get some of the brand new rares for mule deer from the previous update, and tried to get the new rare red deer from the update before that, and we have failed miserably. I've not been able to get any males of any of the new rares for either of those, so I'm really hoping that fallow will be different. Can we please just get some good respawns with the new rares for fallow deer? We got a bunch of males downrange at this zone. This was always one of my favorite zones to hunt for the fallow deer. I mean, there's just so many in this zone every single time that we hunt it. And you know, it would help if I could actually hit my shots, but apparently that doesn't happen until that shot right there. And even that wasn't a great one. What are these fallow doing? They're just going zigzag mode, bro. I don't want to take a shot because, like, the does keep going in front. There we go. We finally got a chance to shoot him. But that was something else. Let's see if we can get a shot into this guy. There's only one bucket this zone this time around, so don't have to worry about trying to shoot two before they run away. Let's pop that guy right there. Oh, look at that. Run number 2, and we already have a gigantic diamond potential fallow deer. Love to see that, man. All right, I reset the time again to try and get this guy to move into a better spot, and there we go. That's him right there. What a beautiful fallow deer. Let's check this guy out right here. What do we got? That is a diamond with the dark fur type. Love to see a diamond fallow deer popping up. Our first one after returning to the fallow grind. Love to see it, man. Well, first time today we've actually got to shoot anything out of this zone because the first time they just would not show up to their zone. So good that we actually got them this time. Okay, let's see. We got a 4 right there, and then we got this dude right there. We'll shoot him, and then we will shoot that 4. And the others, I don't think they respawned, which I guess kind of makes sense because we only managed to kill, I think, 2 of the ones that were over there. And sometimes with fallow deer, I got to kill like everything or close to everything to get consistent respawns. I'm really not sure how consistent this grind is going to be because one of the reasons I stopped grinding for fallow deer and reset up for red deer was not only because of the fact that I wanted the new fur types, obviously, but I'm pretty sure we set it up before then even, just because the fallow were not really working out. There we go. We got another diamond one in front of us, and I think this guy is a guaranteed diamond. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's any chance that this guy could troll. He is an absolute freaking monster right there. Let's just... man, come on. Why are you getting in front of him? Unbelievable. Alrighty, let's just pop him real good. And yes, that was a vital hit. Now, at one point, this grind right here, we were getting a crazy 1 in 10 diamond rate for our grind. And honestly, that was absolutely insane. But then when they made the update where you couldn't force respawns by going to the main menu, it essentially made it so that we had to obviously wait for them to respawn. And because I got through my grind so quickly, normally I would have to wait like an extra minute or 2 for the respawn. So what I did was when we came back to it back then, I shot a few of the 2s that I had at different zones. And because of that, it reduced our HM a little bit, making it so we no longer get that crazy 1 in 10 dime rate that we used to back then. We still get a good one. It's like a 1 in 25 or like a 1 in 20 or a 1 in 30. I can't remember exactly. We didn't do too many grinds after that, but I mean, it's not bad. It's still very, very solid. Speaking of solid, that is a solid diamond right there. That is a beautiful buck. I really do wish that they would take another look at the fallow deer antlers though, because this is not really the way that fallow deer antlers will angle. Like typically they're going to be like, the back's going to flare out a little more. The front's going to go in a little bit more. Like it isn't shaped perfectly like real fallow deer. So I hope at some point they do give it a bit of a pass through and redo some of them. That is a big 5 right there. Look at how wide that beast is. Definitely one of the wider ones of the day, I would say. Let's see if we can get this guy down. We got his buddy right there, but we're primarily focused on him. And yeah, we nailed him. Let's see what this guy scores, because this is a pretty wide one. 255, so kind of in the middle. I've seen these score upwards of 260, if I'm not mistaken. Been a while since we've really gone for fallow, so I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But I think they can reach around 260 or more for this particular rack. But it's not super common. There, we've got ourselves another diamond. That is going to be a small rack diamond. However, you know, these guys sometimes can score pretty high, as we have seen, if you get the really wide ones. I don't think this guy is going to be super wide, but, you know, maybe it will be. Let's see. Smoked him. No, don't float. Come back here. Come back here. Luckily, this water is very, very shallow throughout this whole area. 255, so not a giant for this rack, but not the smallest they can be either. A nice little 255.14. Not bad. There we go. We got another level 5. We are getting a decent amount of them, even though I just killed a couple of small 3s that I had stacked on the map because I wanted to have more to shoot, because I just felt like I wasn't getting consistent enough respawns with only shooting like 10 deer like I was. Let's see what we got here. That is a 255.14. Another kind of average sized one like our last. Jeez, look at that freaking giant right there. That is a absolute monster. I think we need to try and get him to move a little bit. Actually, you know what? If I shoot next to him, I don't know if he's going to even give us a broadside because he is facing us currently. If he was facing away, it might work because he'd have to turn around, but I think we'll just pop him like this. Yeah, we nailed him. Okay. Love to see it, and that means we can pop that guy too. We kind of got him vitally, I think. Let's see. What do you score, buddy? 265. That is a max weight. That is a beauty right there. Absolutely giant. Now, it is a little bit unfortunate that we have yet to get one of those new rares as a buck, but hey, it is what it is. There is another level 5. I mean, this is going pretty good. We're getting a lot of 5s, and I'm starting to think that, like, maybe I needed to go shoot a couple of those small level 3s that I was stacking on the map for HM. Because ever since then, we've actually been popping more diamonds, which it seems counterintuitive, but maybe I just wasn't shooting enough previously per run to really get anything. Let's see, what do you score? 252, it is the white variation, which is always cool to get, but we've got a bunch of these taxed already, so we're not going to tax it. We got an absolute giant in front of us once again. Look at that beauty right there. Let's get a shot into him and get a shot into his buddy as well. Yeah, he's going down. Absolutely smoked him. And smoked that guy too. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? 267. That is the biggest one of the day by far. That is a beauty right there, man. That is super, super awesome. Look what we have in front of us. That is a beautiful piebald right there. That is an absolute freaking monster. Probably going to be in the 230s. We're hunting this thing at like 10:30 at night, so that's why I'm talking a little bit lower. But that is a beautiful piebald right there. Definitely going to take him down. Let's see. What do we got here? 238. That is a gigantic piebald. Like, that is a beast right there. One of the biggest ones I've got in the last year or so. Probably the last 2 years. That's a beauty. Love to see a giant piebald fallow showing up while we're trying to get those new rares. Let's go. Oh my gosh, we did it. We got one of the new rares. That's an Acromelanistic, right? Oh my gosh. Again, we got this guy just after the piebald. It's now 10:43 p.m. So, you know, got to be a little bit quiet because family's sleeping. But oh my gosh. Look at that beauty right there. Holy crap. I'm so happy. We finally did it. You know what? We're going to leave this guy alive till tomorrow so I can actually record this properly. Okay, so it is the very next day. Obviously, we got that Acromelanistic to spawn late last night, and it's time to actually stock up close, get a good look at it, and take it down. This thing is so cool looking. I'm so excited that we actually managed to get a rare buck of one of the new rares. It's definitely one of those things that we have struggled with in the past. I still don't have any stags of the new rares for red deer that we got with the Scotland update. I don't have a leucistic roe deer male either. I also don't have any of the brand new mule deer furs from the previous update. So, like, I have just struggled at getting these new rares. So it's good to see that something finally went our way. All it took was 3 days of grinding. That's right, this video contains like 3 days worth of highlights. Obviously, I wasn't hunting fallow deer the entire time in those 3 days because I've got other grinds going that I need to try to get progressed as well, like the roe deer grind. But I've still killed a considerable amount of fallow deer, over 200 bucks, and we got quite a few trophies in that time. So I may have made a little bit of a mistake and a bit of a miscalculation. I still have my backpack on. And yeah, that's going to make it really tough to get close. And I just realized that this spot is also not a very good spot for getting close. So I don't even know if I'd be able to get up close to it regardless. So I think what we're going to have to do is shoot the 22 in the air and just take it from here. Let's get the 308 out. Boom, smoked him. Okay, before it floats away, let's go ahead and grab it. That is an Acromelanistic male. Oh my gosh, that is so freaking cool. These things are pretty, man. They're a lot more beautiful than you would have thought if you just look at the image that EW released. They look a whole lot better in-game than that image that they previewed them in. That is by far the coolest trophy we have got over the course of these 3 days, and I think this is probably where we're going to end it. Let's go take a look at all the cool stuff that we found in the lodge. So there we have it. That is all of the trophies that we managed to get during this 3-day grind right here. That is our Acromelanistic male, and oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at those eyes, man. The blue eyes really tie it together. I love this. And you know what I'm looking at? You know what I'm noticing as we're looking at these guys right here? These guys would really benefit from a bit of a texture upgrade on their antlers. Obviously, they've redone fallow before, but now that Moose got that rework where they added the contours to the antlers, can we please have it for some of the other species too? I think these guys would really benefit from that. But that is a really awesome, gigantic piebald fallow deer that we managed to get as well. Such a beautiful buck. And then, of course, last but not least, our little doe, our little Acromelo doe. But subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Leave a comment down below, as well as hitting that like button before you go. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!